contrast between the ocean's beauty and the hidden death. The ocean, the great, ancient cradle of life on this planet. Listen to its call. Within this infinite blue embrace, time itself seems to stand still. Beneath the shimmering silver surface, where tropical sunlight fights to weave through the waves and touch the sandy floor, lies a world of overwhelming brilliance. The coral reefs stretch out like submerged primeval forests, a canvas where thousands of species paint the story of existence. Here, beauty is a loud proclamation. Clownfish, clad in vibrant orange, dance amidst the soft, swaying tentacles of anemones. Schools of blue tangs glide by like ribbons of liquid jade. Everything moves, everything is radiant. Everything screams, "I am here, I am alive." But nature is a mother both fair and cruel. She gifts speed to some, strength to others, and to a select few, the dark art of deception. Right here, amidst this paradise of color, exists a shadow, a presence of death that does not wear the face of a reaper, but the mask of the inanimate. Look down at your feet, deeper, where the fragments of broken coral lie dormant on the white sand. What do you see? Algae-covered rocks? Lumps of rough, ugly matter forgotten by the tides? Look closer, because one of those rocks is looking back at you. This is the stonefish, Synanceia, the architect of invisibility. If the ocean is a grand theater, the stonefish is its greatest actor, one who never breaks character, the role of a lifeless stone. Evolution has sculpted this creature not with graceful lines, but with the rough texture of geology. Its skin possesses no shimmering scales, but is bumpy and warded like rotting tree bark, stained with the mottled colors of earth, mud, and dead coral. It allows moss to grow upon its back, permits algae to cling to its eyelids. It dissolves its very ego into the environment. It lies there, motionless, not a flick of a fin, not a blink of an eye. Its breathing is so shallow that the water around it barely ripples. It is a paradox of nature, a living being playing dead to sustain its life. A thinking rock, a living trap set in the middle of the path, patiently waiting for the innocent traveler to stumble into the jaws of fate. The art of hunting, patience, and the legendary strike. The sun begins its descent to the west, scattering the last golden ribbons of light across the surface. Down here at the base of the reef, the light fades, giving way to the twilight zone. This is the hour of the hunters. While sharks begin to patrol, seeking the scent of blood, the stonefish remains exactly where it has been since dawn. And perhaps it will remain there until the moon wanes. Its patience is not measured in hours, but in the rhythm of hunger. It does not chase. It understands the laws of the current. It knows that if one waits long enough, the ocean will deliver a meal directly to its doorstep. A small goby fish, a carefree wanderer of the seabed, swims into view. It is busy foraging for tiny shrimp hidden in the weeds. The goby drifts, occasionally pausing, its innocent eyes scanning the surroundings. But in its eyes, the lump ahead is merely a harmless geological structure, a perfect place to hide. It swims closer, closer still. It even brushes its fin against the rough skin of the predator. In that moment, time for the stonefish seems to dilate. Every sense explodes into action. The pressure sensors along its lateral line record the minutest vibration of the prey's fin. It calculates the distance. It measures the angle. Its body remains as still as a statue. But inside, every jaw muscle creates tension like a drawn bowstring. Silence envelops the space, a terrifying stillness before the storm. And then, boom! Faster than the naked eye can follow, in merely 15 thousandths of a second, faster than a blink, faster even than the transmission of pain signals along a nerve, its massive mouth fires open. The lower jaw drops, expanding the oral cavity instantly to create a terrifying vacuum. The water is sucked into its maw with the force of a miniature tornado, dragging the poor goby with it. There is no chance for resistance, no moment to realize the mistake. The prey vanishes into the darkness of the stomach before its brain can even comprehend what has occurred. The dust settles. The water returns to peace. The stonefish closes its mouth, its eyes returning to their glossy, vacant stare. It becomes a rock once more. A perfect execution, soundless, traceless. It is a testament to a brutal truth of nature. The winner is not necessarily the strongest or the fastest, but the one who knows how to become invisible until the final, decisive second. Defense mechanism, the anatomy of venom, and the pain. But the ocean is not just home to small prey, it is a playground for giants. Eagle rays with wingspans like flying carpets, white-tip reef sharks, curiously scouring every crevice. With a heavy body and clumsy swimming abilities, how does the stonefish survive these sharp-toothed titans? It does not run, because it knows it carries a curse, a weapon that makes the entire ocean tremble. When it senses the shadow of a large intruder pressing down, the stonefish does not attack. It activates a passive yet lethal defense system. 13 spines along its dorsal fin slowly erect. Look closely at these spines. They are not merely bone. They are the most sophisticated biological hypodermic needles in creation. At the base of each spine lie 2 swollen venom glands, filled with a thick, milky fluid. This is vericotoxin, a complex protein, a masterpiece of organic chemistry designed for pure agony. Its mechanism is simple but cruel. When pressure is applied, such as the jaw of a shark biting down, or the bare foot of a careless diver stepping on it, the sheath surrounding the spine tears away. That pressure squeezes the glands, shooting a stream of toxin up the grooves of the spine, driving it straight into the flesh of the aggressor. This is not a simple sting. It is the beginning of hell. Imagine liquid fire coursing through your veins. The venom of the stonefish attacks the nervous system directly, destroying blood cells and paralyzing the heart muscle. The pain is described as being beyond the threshold of endurance for any living creature, often making victims wish to amputate their own limbs just to escape the torture. The tissue around the wound turns purple-black, necrotizing as life is drained away. It is an impregnable citadel. It lies there, exposing a back of spiked thorns as if to say, "Step on me if you wish to taste death in its most painful form." The stonefish's confidence comes from this ruthlessness. It does not hide to escape enemies. It hides only to hunt. To its enemies, it is a mobile forbidden zone that no one dares to enter. Inner life, molting, and the philosophical conclusion. To live a life of camouflage is to live a life of absolute solitude. Stonefish have no schools. They do not swim together in the vibrant mating dances of other fish. They are solitary beggars, wandering the ocean floor, each ruling its own patch of sand, each a desolate island. But the price of becoming a stone is paid by the body itself. Lying motionless for weeks under the silt makes its body fertile ground for uninvited guests. Algae takes root on its skin. Parasites burrow into its bumpy scales. The perfect cloak of invisibility over time becomes a suffocating prison suit, itchy, heavy, and old. And then, when the burden becomes too much to bear, the old rock knows it is time for a change. In the dead of night, under the pale moonlight filtering through the water, it begins to thrash. It rubs its body against sharp coral rocks, twisting in a painful contortion. It is molting. The old skin, thick with moss and parasites, slowly peels away, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. But here, in the deep, the rebirth is silent and slimy. The stonefish slithers out of its own decaying shell. A new body is revealed, still rough, still ugly, but cleaner, its colors renewed. It leaves the old husk to drift away with the current, shedding the exhaustion of the past. It is ready for a new cycle of waiting. And so the wheel turns, born, hidden, killing, aging, molting, and hiding once again. The stonefish is a living witness to time. It has seen reefs bloom and die from climate change. It has seen strange species come and go. But it remains, steadfast and sullen. When we leave the water, returning to our noisy world on land, remember this. Down there, in the absolute silence of the deep, cold eyes are still watching, stones that breathe, traps of the reaper. The stonefish, humble evolution, a humble yet deadly reminder from nature that we should never judge by appearance, and never let your guard down. For the line between life and death is sometimes only a single misplaced step.